couple of our courses, and now, as you can see, the horse has a much more balanced canter, and she can do counter canter, flying changes, and half passes now. And then if you look at the seat of the rider, you can notice that her lower legs don't swing forward every time the pelvis gets pulled forward. So that requires a certain stability in your core and also the outer thigh muscles to help keep the legs back and in place. And you see how there's very little forward and backward motion in her torso. She stays pretty quiet, and she absorbs the movement of the horse's back with her ankles, knees, and hips, and the lumbar spine. And you can see in moments when she lengthens the stride, the pelvis goes forward a little more, and then when she collects the strides, like here she shortens the canter stride, then the forward backward movement gets smaller, the up and down movement gets bigger. You can see how she engages her core here to shorten the canter strides in the volte. And you see how she accentuates the upward movement a little bit in her body to direct the energy more up rather than forward. And then here, she lets the horse go forward for the flying change, and there you see how the pelvis went forward a little bit, and then she collects a little bit again, then the movement goes a little bit more up to bring the withers up. You see how the pelvic motion is more vertical rather than horizontal. And there's another volte here. So the core stability is a really important factor in controlling the canter stride, shaping the canter stride, that you can determine exactly how much your seat goes forward, your pelvis goes forward, and how much your seat, pelvis, torso, etc. goes up. And then you see how the flying changes happen pretty easily out of that quiet and engaged core. And engaging the core allows you to relax your hip, knee, and ankle joints, your leg muscles. See there, she lets the horse go forward a little bit again for the flying change, and there you see a little bit more forward motion in the pelvis, but not so much that she pushes the horse onto the forehand. There she lost the right shoulder a little bit, so the change was a little late behind, so the horse got a little bit crooked. Here, so we have another volte. Volte is always a good way to prepare the horse for the next movement, to create bend and balance. And there she lengthens the stride, and you see how the pelvis then goes forward a little bit more because the strides are longer, and then to catch the horse and collect again, then the forward motion gets smaller, the upward motion gets bigger. And so the hands are connected to the seat. They are a part of the seat. The hands, elbows are part of the pelvic area, not part of the shoulder, so to speak. So whatever half halt you give comes out of your seat. See there, she lets the horse stretch a little bit, and to see how the seat stays quiet, and she allows the horse to stretch forward, downward out of the seat, and lets the reins glide through her fingers. And then she's picked the reins up again. Horse is in a more uphill posture again, and so the main control comes from the core muscles. And here we have a series of flying changes. So you can see very well how the engaged core is really the centerpiece, and with the pelvic motion you can then direct the energy in the canter. You shape the canter stride by letting the energy go more forward or more up. The hands are a part of the seat, a part of the core, so to speak, and the legs in a sense are also a part of the seat. I always think of the legs as extensions of the seat bones that go straight down. They're a little bit like the roots of a tree or a keel of a ship that gives the whole torso stability, just like the roots of a tree prevent the tree from getting blown over by the wind, and just stretching them down gives a lot of stability and a certain depth to the seat. So try maybe to implement some of these things when you're cantering. Try to observe whether you're going forward and back a lot with your hips and shoulders. Try to observe if you can change the motion of your body, like reduce the forward movement, increase the upward movement in the pelvis. Try to keep your shoulders as quiet and neutral as possible and just absorb the motion of the horse's back below your lowest rib, right, before the lowest thoracic vertebra. And that gives the seat more quietness, more steadiness.